For my quick update, as of May 3rd, I am over 3/4 of the way through Desert Gold by Zane Grey. This is not where I wanted to be. I wanted to have finished this book and finished Messenger by Lois Lowry. I wanted to have finished those last month. Fortunately, I'm a slow reader and I didn't get them done. So I'm still finishing Desert Gold, which I'm really enjoying, and then as soon as I finish that, I will be getting onto Messenger and probably Hunger Games or Words of Radiance next. But I'm hoping to get those all done. I'm hoping to have Desert Gold finished by Tuesday because I'm a slow reader and that's about how long I expect it'll take me, and then I'll instantly be getting onto Messenger, which is book 2 of the Giver Quartet. So thoughts on Desert Gold. I am really enjoying it. It's very different. I'm used to reading books by Louis L'Amour, who is another Western writer, and that his writing style is very fast, very action-packed, very fast-paced. Just go until the story goal is resolved. Zane Grey is different. He's very much on the slower side, very beautiful writing style, very easy to follow, but slow, quite a bit slower. I'm really enjoying the story, but it's just it's different than I'm used to. So I am over 3/4 of the way done with Desert Gold, and I will hopefully finish that by Tuesday, and we will check back in about a week to see where we're at.
I've been reading The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins and Dune by Frank Herbert this month, or this week so far in the month of May. I have a couple thoughts on The Hunger Games. It's different rereading it. I'm not used to it because when I first read it, I was so excited to hear the story that I just rushed through it. I pushed through the book trying to get to the end because I wanted to know how it ended. I was super excited. I loved the writing style. So one thing I'm noticing a lot rereading it is super small details, things that make a lot of sense. Now that I read them, I say, well, how did I not notice that before? I still like it just as much as before, but it's also cool because I'm able to see the flaws a little better because I'm reading it as an older person and it is a little bit for a younger age. Because I've grown in my literary knowledge and critical thinking skills, I guess, I'm able to see the flaws a little better for The Hunger Games. And that's interesting because I'm catching a few things that I didn't see before, but I also still love the book, and so I'm excited. I'm only I'm not very far in at all. I'm only on chapter 6 or 7 so far, so I'm not super far into it, but the chapters, that's chapter 6 there, so I'm getting there. And then the other book I'm working through is Dune by Frank Herbert, and I'm reading that through ebook because I can't go to my library right now. And I'm hoping to get the audiobook soon because I think that might help me. My first initial thoughts, I'm only about 3 chapters in, it's like 5% of the way through the book, it's not very far at all, it's a lot. There's a lot of really small fine details, and I kind of need some basic things when I start reading a book that help me get the foundation, I guess, for the book to know what to expect, I guess, later on. And I don't really have that with Dune. But I hear so many good things about it, and I want to get through it, so I'm going to push through it a little farther, and I realize I'm only a tiny bit of the way through the book. So, there's a lot of characters being introduced, there's a lot of species, I think, being introduced, and it's a little tricky following everything. But I'm doing the best I can, and I don't know what to think of it yet, because I am only a tiny bit of the way through the book, but yeah, that's my update for now.
Alright, so quick update for the end of the week, and today is the 9th, Saturday. I finished Desert Gold on Tuesday, I think, and I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of storylines that were set up and wrapped up nicely, and it in many ways came full circle. There was things that happened at the beginning of the book that were mirrored and very similar at the end, and it was really well done. I really enjoyed it. The writing style, like I mentioned in my first update, is fairly simple. It's a little bit slow at times, but it's never boring, and so that was good. But I actually really enjoyed everything that this book had to offer. I also started Gathering Blue, which is book 2 of the Giver Quartet. I realized that in my last update I said I was going to be starting Messenger. That's not true. I was thinking that for some reason that Messenger was book 2. It's not. Gathering Blue is book 2, and I've started that, and I am 12 chapters in. I don't know how many pages that is, but 12 chapters in out of 23, so about halfway done with this book. It's short. It's interesting. I'm liking the society that's built up in this one. It's very different from that of the Giver, but I'm seeing similarities already, and I have an idea of some things that might happen. Once again, as with the Giver, Lois Lowry has done an amazing job with her characters and her world, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really excited to see what happens next and where the rest of the story goes from here on out. After I finish The Giver, I think I'll probably be starting, or after I finish Gathering Blue, I think I'll probably be starting Hunger Games so that I can get that one out of the way. And after Hunger Games, I should be reading Words of Radiance, book 2 of the Stormlight Archives. I'm hoping that I can get all these done. My life's about to get busy again, so we'll see what happens, but I've made good progress on these last 2 books that I've been reading, and I'm hoping to continue that. Alright.
Hi everyone, I wanted to do a quick midweek check-in. I finished The Hunger Games. I couldn't sleep one night, so I read 2/3 of it and dealt with the insomnia that way. To be completely honest, my thoughts on The Hunger Games haven't changed much since I read it the first time, which is, I kind of expected them to. I assumed that with having grown up a little, rereading them, I would like them more or dislike it less, and I don't. I think it's stayed about the same in my estimation, which is interesting. But I think the biggest change that's occurred to me rereading The Hunger Games is the issues are so much more serious. I suddenly understand why, without going too far into spoilers, why Katniss has to win. You know, it all is so much more serious now that I'm older, and I can kind of understand the darker issues a little bit better. So that's a new take for me, and I appreciate it a lot because I only ever saw that in The Mockingjay and not as much in The Hunger Games. So that's my new take on The Hunger Games. Pretty basic, I guess. The details were definitely new. I clearly did not read this book slow enough the first time I read it through. The details just went right over my head. So it's really cool to read the details, actually understand what's going on. I have a much better picture in my mind when I read it. So note to self, Cadence, read all the words on the page. And on to Dune. Dune is not going as well as I was hoping. I did focus on The Hunger Games, I buckled down, and then I got busy this week and I wasn't doing so great. I'm about almost 10% of the way through Dune, and my digital ebook is about to expire because I got it and then I waited almost 2 weeks before I started reading it. I'm hoping to get Dune the audiobook soon, which I'm hoping will help me read it. It's definitely become more interesting. I'm starting to see main characters, and having a character to follow is really helpful, and I like a lot of aspects. There are a couple occasions where the writing style pulls me out of the story. I notice that the most, and it's the most jarring when it's switching between characters' head spaces. So I'll be in one character's head in 1 second, and then I'll be in another character's in the next, and I almost don't have time to make that transition in my own mind. So that's the only thing I've noticed. The writing style is very slightly jarring, just barely noticeable. And I'm only 10% in, so I'm excited to read it. I'm excited to see more. I'm learning. I don't know. It seems interesting. I don't know what else to say about it. But that's my midweek checkup. Because I did finish The Hunger Games and I don't really have Dune right now, I'll probably start on the Silmarillion tales, select tales from the Silmarillion soon. Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters I ordered, and that should be arriving any day now, and once that comes, I'll probably jump right into that and finish it up. So yeah, I'll check back in later.